Hi, my name is Magnus Berglund, and I'm going to tell you the next 15 minutes how Scandic Hotel is working with disability questions. Everyone have seen that I have a dog here with me. Do everyone know why I have a dog? Yes? Is it because I'm blind? No, I see perfect. This is a service dog, assistant dog. She's trained for help me because I have muscle problems. So she helped me in the morning, jump up in my bed and give my clothes. And I had another dog before. She was a little better because the dog knows that faster I get my clothes and faster I get out of the bed, she get breakfast. But this dog just jump up on the bed and start sleeping. She really likes to sleep very much. But she's trained to help me to everything I need. So she carrying my computer in the airports and so on. So everything I need with my help, she helped me. So this is probably the dog that travels most. That was short about the dog. I always start with that. I'm going to tell you about disability questions. About how at hotel chains that I'm working for, I'm working for Scandic Hotel. We have 224 hotels, most in the Nordic countries. Myself thought I know everything about disability. I thought I know everything about hotel, and because I'm working for the hotel business for over 12 years before I was sick. 1999 I was sick the last time, and 2002 I was going to go from Stockholm, Sweden to Copenhagen and going to a wedding. And on that time I only could walk 2 to 3 meters. So I was going into the airport and checking what sort of service do you having for me? What are you selling for me to buy the ticket? I could find assistant in the airport. I could get a wheelchair, I could get all the assistant I wanted. Then I was going into 5 different hotel chains and checking what sort of service do you got in for me? What is selling for me that have some sort of disability? And the only thing I need is a chair to sit in the shower. And no hotel chains tell anything in the website. I couldn't find anything. But I could find where the nearest movie were. I could find if I want to rent a horse or if I want to play golf. That I could find on 5 different hotel chains. I supposed to Scandic Hotels 2003 that if we were starting work with disability questions, we're going to get more guests. The first we did in autumn 2003 was we rent a wheelchair. Not only one, we rent 3 wheelchairs for 3 months and let everyone in the head office sit in a wheelchair for 2 hours. We started with the boss and going down. Everyone was coming back to me in that 3 months said, yeah, it was not so easy. You don't learn to go with a wheelchair in 2 hours, but I can still have my job, no problem. I've seen many people that everyone said, I've seen many people that drive a car. So I can still go to work, and I can have a table that's going up and down, so no problem. But everyone asking the same questions. How do I close in the handicap toilet? No one in the head office could close in the handicap toilet, and they was built after all the laws. And I have found 8 handicap toilets in EU. In Brussels, for just a few weeks ago, I found 8 handicap toilets you couldn't close. I find in many airports you can't close the handicap toilet. Do everyone know why you can't close it? Okay, when you open a door and going in with a wheelchair, and the door is open, how to reach it? You can't reach it because we didn't know that you normally need to put up a railing under that I've told it don't cost money, it costs 20 euros. So there's no money about things like that. That was things we didn't know about it. I mean, going with a wheelchair is just one sort of all disability, but it's extremely good way to getting up with the discussion in the office. Another thing, if you go in a wheelchair, you can only do it in jeans. You know, you're not allowed to go in a wheelchair in a suit. Everyone know why? No? Okay. Because 90% if you're going into a handicap toilet and then wash your hands and then want to dry them, forget that because we have built all the dryers is up here. So normally you can't reach them, so you always need to do this. So then it's very good to have jeans on you. I was in EU and there I'm finding the biggest handicap toilet in my life. You can sitting in this handicap toilet. It's so big, so you can get in the bed. They're thinking about everything. They even have a mirror when you're looking forward, so you can see yourself there, and they're painting up there. They're thinking about everything. So when you're going to take the toilet paper, you need to go up, going 1.5 meters to the wall, take the toilet paper, and go back. So now the big question is, everyone here in the room that any time in your life have been in a handicap toilet, put up your hand. Anyone here that was seeing that something was wrong in the handicap toilet, put up your hand. Anyone that was going directly to the reception and told them that something was wrong so they could fix it, please put up your hand. Why I tell you this story? Because it's not easy to work with disability questions. Because if I'm breaking the lamp in this conference room or outside here, every one of you are going to tell the reception, yeah, the lamp is broken and they can fix it. But if you can't reach the soap or something like that in a wheelchair, people don't say it because we don't think about it. And that's the most important lesson we was getting. So what we understand in Scandic, the first thing we need to doing is starting to education all our team members. I'm going to just show you some slides about how we're working with these things in the Scandic hotels. We have one goal in Scandic: we should not have any disabled people at all. We should only have guests. That's the big goal, that everyone should feel that they are a guest when they're coming to a hotel. They're not disabled, they are a guest. The most interesting is that when we're speaking about disability, normally, that's Ivor was saying, we're speaking about wheelchair, we're thinking about that. But it's less than 30% that you can see that someone has some sort of disability. Is this a huge market? Yes, it is an extremely huge market. Many of the things we have done in the hotels pay back in the first year. Because now EU have decided, and many countries in Europe have decided that all the conferences need to be accessible for all. So we're getting extremely much bigger conference just because we're working with disability questions. That could be everything from that you have here in Loop in a conference room to that you have a special bread, gluten, lactose bread, so people don't need to ask for it, and so on. So that's what we're seeing all the time. And one person in a wheelchair can decide over a whole conference of 400 people are going to come. If it's not working for him, you need to change in the conference. So that's many times we're seeing that things. Next, I have one question here. Everyone that is over 60, can you please put up your hand? Is anyone over 60? Yeah, you can stay here. Yep, that's done. Or other can go. Because this is the most important people in the room. If you're looking in the tourist sector. If you look at what Time magazine was writing 1 year ago, they were saying that the people that are going to spend most money in tourism in Europe, from the United States and in Europe, is going to be over 60 years old. They're going to stand for 50% of the money. That's the newest trend. The newest trend is if you're older, you travel much, much more. And I know my mother, she's 79 years old and going to be 80 this year, and she bought a new car last year, and she's going to buy a new car this year, she told me. She's not going to give me any money, she's going to spend it. That's the new trend. So all you spend more money. But really, if you're asking the Frankfurt airport or Brussels airport or this airport, I was asking them yesterday, something that's going up every year, that is assistant in the airport. The system in the airport is something that's going up every year. They thought it was, when it was free, they thought it was going to be 30% a year the first year, but it's 30% every year. And people is older, is traveling much, much more. So China Air is building now more handicap places in the plane. Boeing doing the same. That's not because they're nice, that's because it's much more people with some sort of disability is traveling. So that's the newest, biggest market in the world. And 65 million, but I like this number, 65 million. I really love this number because this number don't have people over 65 years old because then you're just old. That's the big thing. Because in many countries you're not allowed to ask if people have some sort of disability after they're 65 years old. So we have lots more people with some sort of disability than this number. Then you are about, like, if you look in Visit England, what they're saying is 20 to 25%, so a little different country. So how do we treat our guests that have some sort of disability? We say, yeah, I'll treat them the same. We don't do that because some of the time I'm treated, when I go with my dog, I'm treated as I'm disabled and not as a guest. It's not so many times they try to sell it. They don't ask me, what do we need to do for you to spend our money in our restaurant, in our hotel, in our shops? I don't get that question so many times. So that's the most important, to try to see everyone as a guest. One of the things we're doing when we're having our education in our hotel, we have workshop There we are doing how do I cook food for a person that is blind, what should I think about if someone is deaf, and so on. So it's so important that we're having this discussion in our hotels. Learn about those things. In one of our hotel, one girl coming in a wheelchair, and she asked me, and the girl that working in the reception for the conference, she asked, do we need any help? Yes, please, thank you very much. And then she was very happy that I was going out to the car, help her with everything. And then, 2 weeks later, was coming a man in a wheelchair. So the girl asked, do you need any help out with a wheelchair out to the car, something like that? No, you should not help me, just because I sit in a wheelchair. So it's really rude and angry. So she told me she's not going to help anyone more in a wheelchair. So always asking, I'm going to do that here. Everyone here in the room, the last year that I met a disabled person that had been rude to you, please put up your hand. And you can't count me in. One. Okay, then we're changing. Okay, everyone here in the room that have met not a disabled person, a healthy person, or a normal person, or what we want to call you, that have been rude to you, please put up your hand. It's so funny because this is working when I was speaking in Montreal or in Sweden or here or in Germany. So I only one thing, please don't have friends that is healthy because you're really rude. Just because I have problem with my legs, I don't need to smile every day. I can have a bad day. Sorry, that's the big thing. That is so important. We having all this discussion in our hotels, in education. We're having, and you can go in Scandic website, you can see our e-learning that we get lots of prize of. So we are putting up our e-learning on the websites, not only for our team member, but so everyone in the tourist sector can doing this. There we have everything from how do I help a person that maybe don't see so well, or how our disabled handicap rooms look like, and so on. We're having our own standard in Scandic that is in all our 7 countries, in all our 224 hotels. We're working with the standards. And it's 135 points. 90 of them is mandatory. We don't own our hotel, but it's many things we can do anything in a way. So it's everything from when you're coming into Scandic Hotel and you go into the reception and you... where do I put my stick? I put it in the reception and it falls down. So we have stick holder, and that's costing less than €1. And then we're having hearing loops in all our reception. We have an alarm clock and so on. But this list helps us to, so we're going forward our hotels every year to checking that you can reach in the toilet paper, that you can reach in the soap and so on, that you can reach in a cup of coffee even if you sit in a wheelchair and so on. So that's what we're working with. All the other points is mandatory when we're building new hotels or renovation. So if we build a new hotel or renovation, maybe renovation reception desk, one part need to be lower so we can check in a wheelchair and so on. So that's how we're working with it. So design for all is good for everyone. And I can promise you that everyone here in the room that's using handicap helping aid every day, please put up your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone here in the room, please don't use helping aid anymore today. Do you know what I'm checking the lexicon? That is what is helping aid? Helping aid is something that was first time built for a person that was disabled. So the remote for the TV was built for a woman in Canada that was paralyzed. So you can't use the remote for the TV anymore today. And how many of you drive a car in here? Please put up your hand. Everyone here that locking the car up with a key and not pushing, put up your hand. Because no, that's only for people in wheelchair. That was the builder's first time. So I think that pattern is letting for everyone else to do that. So why am I taking this story? Because you can think so many things that you don't thinking is for a person that is disabled. So what we're doing here in Scandic, everything we're doing is good for everyone. But it could be necessary for a person that has some sort of disability. So in our handicap rooms, it's a normal standard rooms, but the only thing is different that we have in beds that's going up and down. And 100% love the beds, 1% need them. Same thing in the bathroom. We can make in the handicap rooms very fast. So it's the same bathroom. It's nothing in the room, and in 2 minutes we can put it in things. The only thing you're really seeing if you're in the handicap rooms and you haven't booked it is that you have hooks on 2 heights. The only thing you see. Everything we're changing when the people book them. Allergics is something that's coming extremely much more in the Nordic and Europe. We have now started in the Scandic hotels, so we have 28 products that you don't need to book before. Everything is in the breakfast in the morning in Scandic, in the Sweden hotels. We are the #1 hotel chain in the world that's having 80 points on every hotel that we're telling the information. Because disability is so different. I mean, it's so different for everyone. So we're telling how many meters is it for handicap parking into the hotel. How high is the bed, how big is the door, and so on. Because we don't say what is good. We only tell you how the hotel look like, so everyone can do that. So, I know many wonder about the dog. Yes, the dog have I have put a Dixie is her name, and she having her own Instagram account, Dog at Work. So now you know that. Any questions? No? Then good for me. Thank you.
Thank you.